Hey, this is Aram's Legion, joined by Fred J. Robledo. The 2016 season is here. We are back with our previews and predictions, and we have a big one going down. Where else, Freddie, but Kiefer?
Right.
On Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Remember, this is a TV game, so be prepared for commercial breaks and a late start, 7:30 p.m. You might also want to be prepared for a running clock because
coming right after that.
Modern Day is coming to town, and they are one of the top 2 or 3 teams, according to everybody, in SoCal, taking on Bishop Amat. A Bishop Amat team with a lot of new faces, Freddie, compared to what was there last year.
Well, Modern Day won that game last year, 24-21, and that was Amat's best senior class. We've talked about that since the 1990s. I mean, both of these teams went on to the Pac-5 semifinals. Modern Day played Corona Centennial real tight before losing that game. Amat got blown out by Bosco, and of course Centennial won that game and won the state championship game. The scary part here, as you were just talking about, is Bishop Amat has lost just about everything. When you think of Tyler Vons and Toriano Sweet in the backfield, they're quarterbacks. They're the quarterbacks.
Leading rusher, leading receiver,
Brayton
leading
on offense,
passer,
they're
leading
defensive guy. Yeah. And Modern Day, when you look at it, I think Max Preps has them ranked number 1 in California, 5th nationally. They're returning a freshman quarterback who was all-world last year, JT Daniels. He threw for 3,000 yards and 33 touchdowns as a freshman. This guy's being recruited by UCLA, Arizona, Notre Dame. And they've got like a super defense coming back too, Aaron. It's just one of those games. You don't know what Amat has. You don't know who these kids are that are replacing these studs. I mean, are they going to be capable? Is this too much for them too soon? That's what we're going to kind of find out on Friday night. I mean, Modern Day is loaded. If Amat could somehow hang with them, take this game in this second half, third or fourth quarter, maybe Amat's a little bit more than we thought they were going to be. Maybe some of these guys, like Dominic Barrero, is going to be stepping up. He'll be a running back this year. Probably they're on paper they're one of their best returning players.
I think he has to be their best returning skill guy, and that's a tough situation because they lost Tyler Sweet, who would have been kind of their downfield or big play threat at receiver or all-purpose. He transferred to Upland, so that was a big blow just recently for Bishop Amat. And this is a team that's a little light on skill players as far as I guess talent and experience right now. Freddie, though, we've seen teams come into Kiefer though and get totally ambushed. A few years ago, you remember that Servite team that everyone said was top 2 or 3 in SoCal. Amat waxed them.
But those teams, Amat had players coming up, guys that they were still Vons and Sweet. Those guys were coming up.
No, but this was like Koa Haynes and I think Jalen Moore.
Okay, but even back then, Jalen Moore, when he was,
But we didn't know. I mean, Jay Anderson had left the program, and Jalen Moore, well, could he switch to tailback, and how good was Koa going to be? And then they came out and kicked butt. It's a tough place to play. But I think Modern Day is forewarned of that. And like Freddie said, this is a team that they're now putting, they're being, the wider base media, they're now putting in the same conversation as Centennial and St. John Bosco, which is scary. Really, really tough spot for Amat right out of the gate. I know there's always
it's a tough spot, but I think it's a good spot. I think you're going to find out right out of the gate.
You'll find something
where Amat is. I mean, are they going to just get absolutely blown out? And this is going to be the type of year that we've been talking about. Maybe 3-7, maybe 4-6, maybe worse than that. It's 18 teams in Division 1. Are they going to be one of the top 16? That's the challenge this year. We don't know where. I really don't have a sense of where that gap is, other than they've got a lot of new players, and I don't like all of the guys they got to replace on defense or the offensive line. There's just a lot to answer for against a team that's absolutely loaded.
They have big Aaron Maldonado back up front on defense, which is a guy that you hope can have the game of his life on Friday night. But
Nick DiFiore, Matt Gonzalez, some other guys.
Guys that saw a little bit of playing time last year too in some of those blowouts. But this could be what a difference a year makes for Bishop Amat. I think we're both picking Modern Day here rather easily.
And here's what Bishop Amat. Say what you want about Coach Steve Haggerty. They are a great coaching staff as far as whatever they have. I still think they're going to get the most out of them on Friday night because that's football-wise, they do that. I just think that, they are just, this is the first time I can think in a long time when they are just really outclassed by an opponent. I mean, I don't see any other way that this is going to be a blowout or maybe a running clock, in front of
a
TV
of the South audience. Right. I
good luck to
agree
them.
with
If they can make that a game, second half, fourth quarter,
it would really
great for them. I think it would open a lot of eyes. It would open my eyes. I just don't see it in this game. I think it maybe a couple of weeks from now.
It should pay dividends, though.
Yeah.
When you start talking about when they get in the league, a game like this should pay dividends. And Amat will be a better team in October and November than what they'll be in September. But this is just a tough
you always,
task.
like you said, have that advantage of it's the first game at Keeper, which will be electric. They're going to be fired up.
Yes.
This is the game. If you play this game in the middle of the season, you're already 0-3. You already go into a game like that you're beaten. This is the first game of the year, so from the opening whistle, they're going to be fired up, and they're going to have that believer's chance when they go into that game. And who knows in the first game, turnovers, things like that, you never know. That's the one thing in a season opener.
Latter-day's bus gets lost.
Yeah, you don't know which way that's going to go, but everything points to a blowout. I agree with you, Aaron. 40-plus points is what I'm looking at. 40-plus points.
You didn't have to put a number on it, Fred.
This could be a 55-10 game, something like that.
Okay. Well,
that's just where else are you going to go with it? Good luck.
Okay, Freddie put a number on it. We both have Mater Dei.
55-10. That's my number.
Right, I got you. Okay, we both have Mater Dei in this game. Get out to Kiefer again. Late kickoff, 7:30. But you Amat fans, you're out there early anyway, so it doesn't matter. Great way to start the season.
Orange Avenue.